I still remember the exact moment the world shifted, the moment my stomach dropped, and everything I believed about my marriage turned to ash. It was a Tuesday night. I had just gotten home from work later than usual, because of a last-minute meeting. The house smelled faintly of lavender candles, the kind Emily only lit when she wanted to relax after a long day. I dropped my keys on the counter and heard her laughter drift from the living room. It was light, almost giddy, the kind of laugh I hadn't heard in a long time. I paused in the hallway, unseen, my briefcase still in my hand. "I told you, just do it," her friend Monica said on speakerphone. "You deserve excitement, Emily. He's boring, predictable. You're still young. Don't waste your best years cooking dinners and folding his socks." Emily laughed again. "God, you're terrible," she whispered, but there was no denial in her voice. "Terrible? Well, honest. If he can't make you feel alive, someone else will." My chest tightened. I didn't want to hear more, but I couldn't move. Emily's voice softened. "It's already happened last Friday." The air left my lungs like I'd been punched. "Was it good?" Monica giggled. Emily let out a nervous chuckle. "It felt thrilling. Wrong but thrilling. And he doesn't suspect a thing." I backed away from the hallway, my hand trembling against the wall. "My mind spun last Friday," she said. I remembered that night. She told me she was working late on a project deadline, so I ordered takeout and watched a movie alone. I had even texted her, "Don't overwork yourself. I miss you." She replied with a heart emoji. And all the while, I went upstairs without making a sound, my heart pounding like a drum in my chest. I sat on the edge of our bed, staring at the framed wedding photo on the dresser. Her in white, me in a navy suit, both of us smiling like fools who believed forever was unbreakable. The door creaked open. "Oh, you're home early," Emily said, hiding her phone behind her back. Her cheeks were flushed. Guilt or surprise, I couldn't tell. "Yeah," I said, forcing a smile. "Meeting ended sooner than expected." She kissed my cheek, casual as ever. "I was just catching up with Monica. How was your day?" I wanted to scream, "How was my day? I just found out you betrayed me." But I swallowed it. Not yet. That night, I lay awake beside her, listening to her breathe, every exhale a knife twisting deeper. The next few days were torture. I played the part of the clueless husband, making her coffee, asking about her work, even laughing at her jokes, while inside, my mind dissected every memory, every moment we had shared in the last year. What was real? What was a lie? I needed proof. Not because I didn't believe what I heard, but because betrayal this deep required more than an overheard conversation. It needed to be undeniable. So, I became a detective in my own home. I checked our shared phone bill. Long calls to an unknown number around 11 p.m. I installed a discreet tracking app on her car. Her late nights at work matched visits to a hotel on the other side of town. I even found a receipt crumpled in her purse. A bottle of wine, 2 glasses, and a room number scribbled in pen. Each clue was a nail in the coffin of the life I thought we had. The final blow came one rainy Thursday evening. Emily was in the shower when her phone buzzed on the nightstand. A message preview lit up the screen. "Same time tomorrow?" I can't stop thinking about last weekend. His name was Derek. I recognized it from her office. The new project manager she had mentioned offhand a few times. I felt something snap inside me. Not in rage. Not yet, but in resolve. If she could be so calculating, so deliberate, then I needed to be just as deliberate in my response. I contacted a lawyer the next morning. Not a divorce lawyer, not immediately. A strategic one. We mapped out the steps. Freeze joint accounts temporarily. Gather evidence legally, secure my personal assets. Quietly, methodically. At home I remained calm. I kissed her forehead, asked about her day, even helped her pick out a dress for Monica's birthday dinner, which I now knew was another lie. Meanwhile, I sent all the screenshots, the phone records, and GPS logs to my lawyer. 2 weeks later I made my move. Emily came home one evening, humming to herself, a faint trace of perfume that wasn't hers clinging to her scarf. I was in the kitchen, stirring pasta. "Hey babe," she said, dropping her bag on the counter. "Smells good." "Yeah," I said. "Figured we should have a nice dinner. Just the two of us." She smiled, oblivious. "That's sweet." Halfway through dinner, I set my fork down. "Emily, can I ask you something?" "Of course. What would you do if I cheated on you?" Her fork paused midair. "What? Where's this coming from?" "Just curious." I smiled faintly. "Would you want to know? Or would you rather be left in the dark?" She frowned, her cheeks tightening. "I mean, I'd want to know, obviously. But why?" I slid my phone across the table. On the screen, the hotel receipts, the messages, the photos of her car parked outside the Marriott. She went pale. "David, I can explain." "Don't." My voice was steady, almost too calm. "You already explained. To Monica. I heard everything." Her eyes filled with tears instantly. "It wasn't like that. Wasn't like that." I leaned forward. "You lied to my face. You made me believe we were fine. And the whole time you were taking advice from someone who thinks marriage is a prison and cheating is a cure." She covered her mouth, shaking. "I made a mistake. A stupid, horrible mistake." I let the silence hang heavy. "Do you know what I did when I found out?" She looked up, her eyes hopeful, terrified. "What?" "I didn't yell. I didn't throw things. I didn't run to someone else for comfort." I pushed my chair back slowly. "I protected myself. Quietly. I spoke to a lawyer. Our joint accounts. Frozen. My assets. Moved. The house. Under my name. And you? You've been living in a fantasy where I'm the fool who doesn't see the knife in his back." Her lips trembled. "David, please. Don't do this. We can fix it." It meant nothing. I stood, my chair scraping the tile. "You meant nothing to it, Emily. That's the problem. You gambled with our marriage like it was a game." She reached for my hand, but I stepped back. "I'm not here to scream. I'm here to tell you I'm done being the safety net for your bad decisions." The next few weeks were a blur of paperwork and cold, clipped conversations. She begged, she cried, she even blamed Monica. She put the idea in my head, she said it would make me feel alive. But the truth was, no one forced her. She chose it. I moved out first, into a quiet apartment across town. Friends were shocked. We had been the stable couple, the ones people envied. They didn't know that stability sometimes means silence, and silence is where cracks spread deepest. Emily tried to fight the divorce at first, then realized the evidence was airtight. The prenup, the one she once called paranoid, left her with nothing she hadn't brought in. The day we signed the final papers, she looked at me with red-rimmed eyes. "Do you still love me?" she whispered. Thought about it. About the nights I held her when she cried over her job, the mornings we laughed over burnt toast, the plans we made for children we never had. "I loved who I thought you were," I said finally. "But that person doesn't exist anymore." She flinched as if I'd struck her. Months later, I found a strange sense of peace. Betrayal doesn't heal like a cut. It leaves scar tissue, thick and sensitive, but it reminds you to protect yourself better next time. I don't know if Emily found what she was looking for. That thrill, that excitement Monica promised. Last I heard, Derek had ghosted her, and Monica had moved to another city. As for me, I'm learning to breathe again. To trust again, not others, not yet, but myself. Because the move I made wasn't just freezing accounts or filing papers. It was choosing not to destroy myself for someone who had already decided I wasn't enough. I walked away with my dignity intact. And that, I realized, is the kind of revenge that doesn't fade.